It may not seem like the most important thing you want to put in your bug out bags or emergency gear, but a sleeping pad can really make any kind of disaster or evacuation a whole lot more comfortable. And today we're going to take a look at the FEELLE Camp Sleeping Pad. Alright everybody, welcome back. So, if you're older, over the age of say 40, and you like the outdoors and you like to camp outside, I bet you it's kind of harder on your back than when you were younger. That would be my guess. I remember camping when I was younger and sleeping in a sleeping bag in a tent, and it was no big deal, and then you go do it now, and it's kind of hard on your back. Not to mention it all kind of matters with your terrain out here. You're bound to be sleeping on rocks, pebbles, all sorts of crud under you, so having something underneath you just makes sense. And for a bug out bag type situation, your comfort is very, very important. You're already disoriented, you're already evacuating from something, running from something, something bad has happened. The last thing you want to do is be sitting on the ground or lying on the ground uncomfortable. So I've learned from my own experience that having a sleeping pad in your bag is a good idea. Now I picked this up from FEELLE, I believe it is, FEELLE, F-E-E-L-L-E, because of the reviews. I'd seen a lot of positive reviews on it. Now I know a lot of those can be skewed sometimes, but what I do is I read the negative reviews first. And if they sound realistic, then I worry. If the negative reviews are like, I didn't like the color of it, or the box was ripped when I got it, I don't care, If the negative reviews sound realistic, then I worry. This really didn't have too many negative reviews that sounded realistic, and actually not many at all. And I was kind of concerned, because when you buy stuff, you can't touch it, you can't feel it, and you don't know if it's cheap or not. Well, I was pleasantly surprised when I picked this up. We're gonna take it outside and blow it up, but I'm gonna give you a little information on it. Now, the material of it is nylon. I'm gonna open it up as we talk here. It comes in 3 different colors. You can get it in blue, green, or orange, and of course this is blue. After you inflate it, the size is 76 inches by 76.7 inches by 23.6 inches by 3.1 inches thickness. The size after folding is about 12.9 by 5.5. You can get that down smaller if you want, probably. I've already blown this up a couple times and put it back. You see how easy it is to put it back in the bag neatly. Bag is a fairly decent lightweight carry bag. And the weight on this is 1.67 pounds. Now, that may seem a little heavy for what this is, but I'm telling you, it's worth it. This has actually pleasantly surprised me. I have some rather more expensive sleeping pads in my other gear, and one thing I've noticed is that the cheaper ones tend to feel cheap. They rip. They almost feel like a Mylar balloon. Some of them. The better ones have a different feeling to them. They're lightweight and they're good, but they don't have that thin, tinny feeling like you could just pop it with anything. I got that feeling from this, and I was really shocked. These run for $39.99, so for $40. It's not the lightest thing and it's not the smallest thing, and you can't fold it smaller than this because the thing that pumps it up is back here. So also too, you don't have to blow this up. You lay this out, you open up the valves in the right way, and you just step on the pump and it will inflate. Now I'm going to do it by hand. I'm going to do it out there, pushing with my hands when we do it outside to show you. But I was really shocked. When I read the first claim, they say, it's got a built-in air pump. You just stamp on the end to inflate it. You can inflate the mat with within 30 seconds after opening. And I was like, yeah, okay. And then I did it. And I was like, wow, that is really quick. It might have been a little over 30 seconds, but it definitely felt less to me. I didn't time it. It was really, really fast. One of the neat things about it is that it is lightweight for such a big item. And, you can scrunch it up a little smaller. You can strap this to the side of your pack. I mean, if you have a pack with you, well, we got a backpack lying here. And I'll kind of put it alongside so you can see. I haven't reviewed this one yet, so don't look. You can see that could strap on there, could strap underneath. Not a problem at all. With the carry bag, you'd be good to go. So it's not really a super heavyweight item. And honestly, when I picked it up, I didn't believe it was 1.6 pounds. And then I weighed it, and I'm like, well, what do you know? 1.63. They say 1.67. So, tear resistant. Made of camping grade 40D nylon fabric, and it doesn't have that stink. If you've ever opened up anything plastic or vinyl, you know that smell when you first use it and you have to air it out? It doesn't have any of that. Another neat thing about this is it is waterproof and leak proof, so you won't bottom out in the morning when you wake up. The connecting design on this is interesting. Let me unravel it a little bit more for you. It also makes folding it up a little easier too, and I'll explain that when we tear it all down. But you notice here I have this snapped together. If you've ever put together a sleeping pad, you know how when you're rolling it up, it tends to like that as you're deflating it. Well, with this, you can snap them together all the way up, roll it up, and nothing but a little bit of air is left in the end, and you just push that out. So you got a neater kind of roll up, but the reason for these is because you can attach them. So if you have two of these and you're sleeping with your family, your significant other, whatever, you can attach another one of these together. Together with two of these the same inflated size, 77 inches across, 24 inches down. I'm sorry, 77 inches down, 24 inches across, 3 inches thick again. When it blows up, it's 3 inches thick. So they are stitched in very well. I do believe they are a polymer or plastic of some kind, but they snap. You heard them when they unsnap. Very positive, snapping and unsnapping. They don't feel like they're going to tear out. So the connecting design is kind of cool. Definitely a cool little thing. So I'm pretty pleased with the whole thing myself. So far, as far as inflating it, I've tried it. That's really impressive for the price on it, because some of these things are up to $150, $75. For one of these to be 40 bucks and be small enough and light enough that you could actually consider using it in a bug out bag, it's pretty darn impressive. So we're going to take it outside. I'm going to show it to you. It's a perfect day for seeing if it insulates you from the cold, because it's rainy and wet and dark and cruddy out. So we'll see if this kind of gives you a little insulation from the cold. Again, this is more of a unboxing and testing first time. We will try this out, and use it for a little while, and then I will come back and give you my final results on it. But honestly, unless something's broken with it, you probably won't hear about it again, because that's how I do reviews. If there's a problem and something breaks on me, I will come back and do it. Generally, if it works, I'm not going to really complain. So let's take it outside. And it does have one of the things too. Side note, sorry, forgot. I thought this would be those tubes, like a raft almost. This has the little pockets all through it. You can kind of see the stitching or the forms in here. So it's a lot more comfortable than just those raft-like sleeping pads. So let's get it outside and try it out. All right, first I'm going to give you a walk around this just to let you see. And of course I told you it was a dark kind of dreary day, and of course the sun is shining and the wind is blowing. It never fails. But hey, that's cool for us. So let's take a quick look at it. You can see I left that over so you can see how you deflate it. And you can inflate it there too if you had to. You could blow in there or have a blower that does it. Walk around here, give you a good look at it. Up top here, now this is not the pillow, this is actually the bottom, but that's your pump right there. And you see it's open so it can suck in air and put it inside. So I'm going to get down there, we're going to pump it up and see how long it takes. Alright, so I got it facing this way, you can see it, so you can see it inflate. Don't mind the noise. Nobody comes by till I turn on the camera. Anyway, we're going to start pushing it up and inflating it. And there you go. Now I don't know how long that was. I guess I'll put a note at the bottom there for how long it was. But that was pretty darn quick. And one of the things I like about it is check out the pillow. That's actually a decent pillow. I mean, so many of these, when I've had them in the past, the pillow is where you see those two little pleats. It's like that big. This is the whole top there. Looks nice and comfortable. Maybe I'd stick something under me for a little prop up of my head, but as you can tell, that was pretty darn quick. And when you're done, you'll just put that cap in there and ready to go. So I'm going to take you around again. I'll walk you around it to see what it looks like fully inflated, and we'll wrap up the video. All right, I've had it out here for about 20 minutes now. I want to see if it will get cold from the concrete. Concrete's really cold. It's about 42 out here today, at least now it is. It'll warm up a little later, but you can see, I mean, that pillow alone is pretty damn awesome. It's fairly firm, too. And like I told you about the fabric when I was trying to explain it before, it feels really lightweight, but it doesn't feel like it's going to tear or rip. There's your thickness. All in all, pretty darn cool. So, let me see if I can get a difference between temperatures. Hang on one sec. Alright, what we're going to do here is try and see if it's warmer on there than on here. So I'm pointing down at the ground now. I got 61 degrees. Okay. I'm pointing at the pillow now, blanket now. Mat. Don't know why I called it a blanket. I've got 66, 68. So you can see, it will insulate you a little from the cold. It's not a ton, but it will do a good job of doing just that. As far as laying on it, it's very comfortable. My back is kind of funky. Just, it's never been right since I was a teenager. And this definitely is comfortable enough to sleep on, no problem at all. So let's show you how you tear it apart and unravel it, and we'll go from there. All right, I've popped the end. I let the air out, and I hope you get this on camera. This is your part that's not going to be movable. Okay, so what you want to do is fold these parts over like that. Make sure I'm in camera. Okay, and you see where these snaps meet. You're just going to snap them together. Now you don't have to deflate it as you do this. I'm just going to pull it along. It's still got some air in it. Snap it together. And this way, when it's all snapped together, it'll go real easy. Alright, so next step is, now that you got it all buttoned up, it's going to make it a whole lot easier to roll up. And I tried to pull it as tight as I could on the sides. It still will get a little bit big as you roll it, but not the end of the world. See how it wants to go like that? But yet, because it's buttoned, you're getting a whole lot more air out. Now, in between, if you want, you can put your knees on this and push out as much air as you can get out of it before you get to that point. So, see how much easier this is to fold up than traditional air mattresses, and I like the fact that it's got those snaps because this makes it so easy. And you're not constantly trying to push the sides back in. See how they're trying to stick out over there? Because this, I'm able to push it out, and you get a really good emptying of it too. All the air really comes out of there. Now, as a general rule with sleeping pads, you should probably keep them hung up, because you don't want them to get too, especially the self-inflating ones. You should keep them hung up in your closet. But you see how quickly I did that. So let's get back up on the table, finish this story up today, and I'll tell you where you can pick one up. All right, we're back inside. That's exactly how I showed it to you out there. I just put it on the top here. And you want to make that a little more neat on the end. And roll it up a little bit. It's slipping out from underneath me. There we go. Now, normally these are a nightmare to put back in the bag, right? That one just slipped right in there with room to grow. So you see how easy it is to tear down. That's a big thing for me. After I'm done camping and I'm ready to go home and I don't want to be out all day messing around with stuff, to be able to tear it down that quick and just pop it and it's ready to go is really, really, really convenient. I like that. I like the fact that it's not a big hassle to take it apart, and definitely cool. One of the things with that honeycomb kind of structure there is I find that it really supports you really well. If you just take your elbow, say, and you jam your elbow down into it, you're going to feel the hard ground. If you completely lay flat on it, you're going to feel like you're floating on air. So, gotta say, for 40 bucks, this rivals some of the more expensive sleeping pads that I've bought. Now, is it that big and, tiny and micro light and all that? No. But it's 40 bucks. It's not 80 or 120. So definitely a cool piece of budget gear for you. Whether you're camping, whether you're using this in your car kit maybe to sleep in the back of your car. And that's another handy thing for it too, is using it in your vehicle. If you got to sleep in your vehicle, having one of these can really save the day. Whether you're putting it on your bug out bag or your bug out gear, or even just keeping it around the house for an emergency guest that may stop in, You never know. We've had that happen where, hey, I'm stuck in Vegas, like, I'm going to be coming up to your place. All right, sure, spend the night. So, if your friends are coming over, family, whatever, really cool little inflatable mat. It's actually really comfortable. So, like I said, they're $40, $39.99. I will put a link down below in the description where you can pick one up. They're either in blue, green, or orange. Your choice. They weigh about 1.67 pounds, 1.64 I was, but that was without the bag. And they're pretty darn worth the money, pretty convenient and pretty nice. For, for $40, you don't normally get something that's decent quality when it comes to these sleeping pads. So I am pretty pleased with it. Like I said, the link will be down below. It'll say FEELLE sleeping pad. You can click that link directly to my store and pick one up. If there's nothing in the store that you like, if you want to just click the link down below, it says shop our Amazon store, and there's nothing in the store you want, just click the link and shop as you normally would. It really helps out our channel a whole lot. Don't forget, below that is our Food for Patriots link. Go to preparewithiridium.com. There is a little bit of a shipping delay with them because, believe me, I saw how much people ordered from my site alone. They're getting a lot of orders. So there is a little bit of a shipping delay, but it's not too bad. And if you're going to start prepping, that is a very good foundation. They have a lot of good foundational foods there. And don't forget to check out our Olight link down below as well. We have a flash sale coming up for a limited edition light, so don't forget to check it out. And I thank you for watching. Stay safe and stay prepared.